Hi, I'm Ross Hudgens, founder of Siege Media, and today I want to talk to you about why click-through rate is not a ranking factor, but in fact, it might still impact ranking. So I, for a long time, was of the mold that obviously click-through rate is a ranking factor. How could Google possibly not use that to change the results in terms of what people click, what people dwell on, and things like that? And that's kind of been the uniform thought process in the SEO world for a long time. And in the last couple months, I actually sort of had an aha moment about how click-through rate cannot be a ranking factor, but still impact ranking in a way, which I think is more reliable overall. And the idea of this, at least as I think about it, is if you think about what would drive you to click something like brand or freshness or an attractive title, those same things would cause you to dwell longer and stick longer on average, and also build trust in what you're clicking that would then inform a longer experience and hopefully an experience that drives you to actually be satisfied with your result on average. So if you click something that you like, that you click, and you're more likely to dwell on it because of that expectation of what that title says, you're less likely to go back to a search result, click something else, or search another result and click something else, which we do know, or more reliably know, Google would use as a ranking factor because it's kind of pogo sticking. You're clearly showing that you're not satisfied with that result. So you can see if you're going to a search result, let's call it life insurance. You go down to the search result and you see, in this example, we see State Farm, we see NerdWallet. These are two relatively large brands. Obviously, everyone probably knows who State Farm is. And their brand immediately develops trust when you see that in the title tag. That is a click-through rate signal that's going to make you click that more often, but it's also setting the expectation for taking you to that result specifically of what to expect, that you're going to have a good experience here, and that combination will probably lead you to not go back on average. But if you scroll further down this result, you see other brands. You actually see Policy Genius. Policy Genius, if you're not in the SEO world, you might not recognize on average. They have this rich snippet rating, 540 reviews. Like technically this might be a click-through rate factor to get that star rating, but I think what differs here and what they're doing is you might click this, yes, more often, and that's still probably a good thing for them, but I don't believe the stars that they apply there actually infers any trust or signal that would actually get you to dwell longer on average, because it's not actually doing anything and to actually show that. It's only drawing your eye in this instance as compared to the State Farm example. Their title tag click-through rate example actually got you to stick. And other examples of this beyond brand are things like the date. So if you're on a result on average and you search best headphones and all the results are old, but you see one that's updated in the last week, you're going to create a signal or something's going to trigger in your mind immediately as kind of that expectation for the article that it's updated, it's fresh, it's up to date, you're ready to go. Those things will set the standard that will probably make you less likely to bounce back on average. If you compare that to that same search result, best headphones, you go to something that's a year old, you click that, you're immediately setting this, you know that this is slightly old. So if you go there and you see something even remotely off that triggers that it's slightly outdated or might not be trustworthy, you're more likely to bounce back to the search result, click something else. And you can see how that kind of front door experience of the search result can inform whether or not you dwell and stay and stick overall. And you can also see things like click-through rate factors such as number of results. If you say you have 50 results and your competitor has 25, obviously, if you deliver on that expectation of 50, people are going to dwell longer on average. I believe a good click-through rate trigger is actually informing the element of that result itself that would make you want to stick and stay on that overall. Bad click-through rate triggers, which I don't believe could inform ranking, are the examples like this Policy Genius example. This rating search result on the search result is not actually saying anything about life insurance or the quality of their life insurance at all, at least from my vantage point. I'm an SEO, of course, so I'm a pessimist about what these kind of people that use this. And Policy Genius is generally doing a really good job with their SEO, so I shouldn't disparage them that much. But I think this is a good example of a signal that actually would not impact their actual rankings. Yes, you might click it more on average, but I don't believe the rankings would be impacted by that. So you can see this in total. If I'm Google and I'm understanding this and just how click-through rate could be manipulated on average, I might not use that as a signal, because why would I need to compare to dwell time, satisfaction once you click through? That'll all be taken care of just by the number of visits and repetition and just trustworthiness that is connected through that front door experience of the title. So my overall recommendation here is yes, optimize for click-through rate, because those same things are good experiences that transferred on page. If it's a good click-through rate experience, that is a real one, not a manipulated one like star rating that doesn't apply, such as this example. So hopefully this helps you see the matrix a little bit. I thought it was kind of an interesting thought once you get to that, and it makes sense that Google so often has said that it's not a signal. And it's very possible if we use this thought process, and I think very reasonably, it's not a direct signal, but yes, it connects to ranking almost definitely. But in terms of does clicking that result specifically draw higher rankings, I don't believe so, and it makes sense to me now why that might be the case. So hopefully you found this explanation useful. If you have any thoughts on it, I'd definitely love to hear them in the comments. Please give us a thumbs up, subscribe, and let me know what you thought. Thanks.